Hello, friends. Welcome back to Rose Tarot and Astrology. I am your host, Mel Rose, and this is your astrology preview for the fourth 10 days of the year, January 30 through February 8, 2024. The fourth 10 days of the year are the second 10 days of the Sun's transit in Aquarius, brought to you by the Six of Swords in Tarot. Before we dive into it, though, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and click for notifications. That way you'll know every time I post fresh daily astrology and tarot content like I do. And as always, my friends, thank you so much for tuning in today. The Six of Swords is giving vibes of letting go and moving on. By putting some distance between ourselves and recent dramas, we gain the perspective and power to make the progress we'd most like to see. Here in the second part of the Sun's journey in Aquarius, the Six of Swords suggests that we are navigating toward new ways of thinking that align with Aquarian themes, humanitarian action, innovative and unconventional ideas. As we distance ourselves from old heroic ways of struggling, we zoom out for a broader perspective, get together with our strongest allies, and make new plans for progress. This 10-day segment includes Friday's waning half moon in Scorpio, which coincides with the beginning of Imbolc, our midwinter celebration, and Friday's solar midpoint in space between winter solstice and spring equinox. Also, Mercury moves on into Aquarius this week, representing a progressive shift in the way we plan and communicate. Taking an overview of this decan, it includes almost the entire week of our midwinter celebration. Make sure to stay tuned to the daily astrology videos for more info about the whys and hows of this annual celebration. Now, let's go ahead and take this day by day. Today, when I'm recording this, is Tuesday the 30th. And the first few days of this decan, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, have relatively unremarkable astrology. But this Friday, February 2, will be the waning half moon in Scorpio, which also brings with it the beginning of Imbolc. And since it's already come up twice, let's go ahead and talk about it. Imbolc is the midwinter celebration. It is the halfway point between winter solstice, the darkest night of the year, and spring equinox, which is the day when the nights and days are once again even in length. If you grew up in a place where Imbolc is still observed, it would be common to share meals with friends and family, marking this seasonal turning point. There's a craft that people do. They create with wild crafted reeds that you can get, in some places. And they make St. Bridget's crosses, or they make little Bridgiogs, which are little dolls out of the reeds, and they hang them up for good health by their front doors. There's also an older tradition of people going door to door, like trick-or-treaters, begging for money or food. So, you could surprise some of your, you could probably surprise some of your neighbors with that trick this time around if you really wanted to. Some practical ways that people celebrate midwinter or Imbolc would be spring cleaning the house, planting seeds indoors, and getting out in natural settings to appreciate the changing of the seasons. See where, it still looks like winter and where things are warming up. I was out there just today and you could see the sap rising in the trees. They're starting to glow with color, and that means that soon the leaves are going to start to spring out that light green color. Speaking of color, you can decorate this time of year with spring-like colors. White, yellow, and light green are traditional. And another personal way to celebrate is to light candles around your home to celebrate the returning light and warmth of the sun. And for purposes of ritual meditation and honoring the energies of midwinter throughout the week, some of us may be inclined to set an Imbolc altar. It's a good thing to use some seasonal symbols there, use candles and seeds and flowers. This time is devoted traditionally, at least in the British Isles, to Bridget, who was either a saint or a deified legend, depending on your cultural perspective. So it's customary, if you like, to use images of Saint Bridget or to make and use the Bridget's cross in ritual work for this seasonal observance. So that's a theme that sticks with us the entire week from Friday the 2nd through Friday the 9th, which begins next decan. Meanwhile, on Sunday the 4th, Mercury moves on into Aquarius, where it joins the Sun and Pluto. Mars will be about a week behind that. So Mercury in Aquarius, Mercury has been in Capricorn, so it's been very ambitious and goal-oriented and just thinking about the practical things we have to do to get our things in order, like to get our stability and our security in order. And now moving into Aquarius, Aquarius, like Capricorn, is ruled by Saturn, but where Capricorn is very much about my security and my stability, Aquarius is very much interested in systems and networks for widespread support and uplift. So Mercury, Mercury is our thoughts, plans, and communications. So under the influence of Aquarius, our plans and our conversations become very progressive and, again, focused on those humanitarian principles and somewhat innovative and interested in exploring different approaches. And then on Monday the 5th, Venus has a challenging aspect with Chiron, while the Sun has a really cooperative aspect with Chiron. Now, Chiron is it's not really a planet, it's an asteroid. It's out there between Saturn and Uranus. And it's about healing, it's about problem solving. If you think about Saturn being, the practical taskmaster and Uranus being the exciting change maker, Chiron is out there sort of like mediating between those two extremes of, no, do what is safe. No, let's do what's exciting, right? So Chiron is a mediator and a healer and a problem solver. And, our spotlight is on problem solving on Monday because the Sun in that cooperative aspect just gives us an opportunity to see in our sense of purpose and the work that we're doing in the world and the people that we're being in the world. Gives us a way to see how healing and problem solving might be affected in our lives and the lives of people around us. And at the same time, Venus is having that square aspect with Chiron, and that square brings up a little bump in the road, like a challenge. It's really like a catalyst. It's something that reminds you why it is that you seek self-healing. And Venus is a seeker. Venus calls things in that we desire. And so it's about how we attract problem solving or how we attract healing, right? And to me, this looks a little bit like a self-care challenge. Like maybe we were hoping to get that healing or that problem solving from an interaction with another person, but it's really one of those situations where we have to rely on ourselves. And how empowering is that? And then on that same day, Mercury makes a cazimi with Pluto. Now, Pluto just moved into Aquarius last decan, so it's only been a week or so since that happened. And so Pluto is just brand new, right in the very beginning of Aquarius. It will take 16 to 20 years for Pluto to make that whole transit through Aquarius, whereas Mercury will do it in under 30 days. So Mercury is just going to zoom right by Pluto, but from our perspective, it's going to look like they're in the same place in the sky at the same time for just, a day. And that is our intellect combined and under pressure with the slow moving rumble and roll of transformation that is constantly happening in our lives. Okay. Pluto turns things over so that we see the dark side of them. We see the muck and the grime that's underneath the stuff that we rely on. And so, this is, Mercury combined with Pluto telling secrets, discovering plans, and being able to sort of see in the dark or see what is behind and underneath the stuff that we regularly perceive. So that's a kind of exciting day on Monday. And then Wednesday, the 7th, we have a couple of really positive aspects here. Venus trine Uranus. This is like pleasant surprises in love. You know, I say love, but it's just in the way that we relate to people. So these aspects, these Venus aspects, they can show up in your romantic life, but they can show up in your friendship life, and really in any part of your life where you are where you are in relationship with someone. So like at your job, especially at your job, because Venus also has to do with your spending money, right? So pleasant surprises can happen in your relationships and also in your financial life on Wednesday. And that trine vibe is just really easy. It's really gracious. It's like it happens without you even having to try or think about it, right? And then Mars is sextile to Neptune that day. This is action, cooperating with intuition, okay? So Neptune is kind of mysterious and it can be a little bit foggy, but under these positive cooperative circumstances, it's sort of like the dream is something that is productive and helpful to us at this time. So Mars, we're taking action to do something productive in the direction of our dreams, or we're acting on our gut impulse, on what our intuition is telling us about a situation, and that's going to work out in a really positive way for us. And then on Thursday, the 8th, Sun square Uranus. So this is another bump in the road. It's a little bit of a catalyst, a thing that reminds you about your sense of purpose. But Uranus, again, the change maker, it brings an excitement and surprise, and the sun is about who you are and what your sense of purpose is in the world. So it's how you make progress, you know, how you sort of envision yourself making progress. So that delight and surprise, hopefully delight, maybe not so delightful a surprise. Okay. Maybe the surprise or, you know, the reveal is less pleasant than you'd like it to be. And there's a moment where you have to stop and sort of absorb, okay, this is what's happening now, you know, and all right, I see how I can use this. I'm going to go ahead with it. All right. So when you get that surprise, you know, do what you can to be accepting and bring it on in. You know, it might take a little swallowing the pride, or it might take a little bit of, you know, just redirecting your focus to integrate the challenge. But once you integrate the challenge, you're ready to move forward. You're ready to use that new information in your plan for progress. And that is going to be it for the 4th decan, my friends. The second 10 days of the sun's transit in Aquarius 2024. This continues to be a powerful time for manifesting a beautiful life for yourself. So use your words to plant the seeds that let the universe know exactly what it is that you're trying to build, okay? The next decan will go up on Friday, February 9, the final day of our Imbolc celebration, and the new moon and Aquarius are that day. Thank you so much for tuning in today, friends. And until next time, keep looking up.